Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today I'm gonna ice dye a Doggie t-shirt. I bought this shirt from Dharma Trading Company and it's actually referred to as a Doggie baby rib tank. It's 100% cotton and they have them in various sizes out on their website. This one that I'm gonna do is a size medium. According to the measurements, a size medium fits an 11 to 23 pound dog. It's 10 inches in length and 14 inches in chest circumference. They do have a note down underneath the sizing chart which says that the weight recommendations by the manufacturer can be misleading and that you really need to follow the measurements like the 10-inch length and the 14-inch circumference for the chest, and to allow for it to shrink just a little bit. I'm going to place a mandala on the back of this dog shirt. So what I've done is I've isolated the back of the dog shirt and I'm using a washable marker to make a mark where I'd like for the center of my mandala to be. I'm going to fold the bottom of the shirt up to the top, and then I'm going to grab the corner and fold it back down to that main seam, kind of like I'm making a paper airplane. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Then I'm going to make one more fold on either side of the shirt. I've tried to really zoom in. I know it's a little difficult because this Doggie tank top is pretty small. I'm going to use hemostats on my mandala, and this is one of the few times that I'm going to pull out my smaller hemostats. I have some that are about 8 inches, and I think that's the size that I'm using on this Doggie tank top. Most of the time, the smallest hemostats that I use are 10-inch. I really prefer the 10 and 12-inch hemostats. But for a very small design like this, I'm going to use some of the smaller ones that I purchased before I knew what size I needed. I'm starting down at the very end by attaching a hemostat at an angle. That's going to be the center of my mandala. I'm also using curved hemostats for this design, but you can use whichever you choose. Then I'm attaching another hemostat with the curve pointing down. And I'm going to continue alternating hemostats on either side of the shirt. I've coated my hemostats in heat shrink tubing. That's going to help them get a little bit better grip on the shirt, and it'll also help keep the teeth of the hemostats from damaging the fabric. I don't want it to rip any holes in the fabric. Because this little Doggie tank top is so small, I can really only fit a few hemostats on the tank top. You know, you might be saying to yourself, I'm never going to make a dog shirt. No, but you could use this technique to make something else small, like a onesie. There really isn't much difference in size between a onesie and this small dog shirt. Okay, so for the rest of the tank top, I'm going to grab the very end and I'm going to do a little spiral. It's not really going to add a spiral design, but it is going to add just a few folds in this part of the shirt. Then I'm going to hold these folds in place with some rubber bands. After tying the tank top, I went ahead and set it aside and allowed it to dry out completely. I normally like to do thicker folds like mandalas when they're completely dry because I normally get better color saturation. However, because of this fabric and the kind of fabric that it is, it's thin enough I probably could have gotten by with applying the dye when it was damp. If you'd like some more information about this topic, I have a link to my website down below in the description, and out on my website I have a tie-dye blog, and I have an entire blog post dedicated to why I like to dye some items like thicker folds when they're completely dry. I've placed the Doggie tank top on top of a rack which I have inside of a plastic tub or tote. Then I decided to make myself an ice barrier using some silicone cake molds. As you'll see later, I decided to just ditch the ice barrier because it wasn't really that helpful. I didn't catch it on camera, but one thing that I did do is before I started applying the dye, I lightly sprayed the very top of the shirt with a soda ash solution which I have inside of a spray bottle. That's going to help the dye stick a little bit better to the top of the shirt. And I am so sorry, my camera was wigging out and was kind of going in and out of focus. I noticed it'll do that sometimes if there's maybe a small like fly or gnat flying around in my dye space. So right at the end or the center of my mandala, I used Be More Pacific, which is a muck dye that Dharma put out in spring of 2024. It's probably not available anymore, but any kind of really pretty blue would work in that area. Then on one side where the hemostats form a space, I'm going to use kind of reddish colors, and on the other side I'm going to use some purples. So on the top area, I'm starting with lilac from Dharma, and in the other space, I'm going to use grape from Dharma. In the lower spaces, I'm using pomegranate and Dances with Raisins, which are both Dharma colors. Then in the outer portion of the shirt, I'm going to use Spanish Lavender, which is another one of the muck dye colors from 2024. Then over the top of all the dye, I'm going to add a sprinkle of dry soda ash, just to make sure whenever I add the ice, it doesn't rinse out all the soda ash that I originally had in the shirt from where I soaked it. The dye needs to have that soda ash because soda ash raises the pH, and that raised pH is what helps the dye to bond with the fabric. So I decided that the best way to get ice on top of this shirt is just to use some little bit larger ice cubes that I make. And so I went ahead and took off my ice barrier and placed on the larger ice cubes. So after I have the ice on top, I'm going to go ahead and place this shirt aside and allow the ice to melt. After the ice melted, I took the shirt into a really warm spot that was probably about 80-90 degrees and left it for about 18 hours before I began rinsing it. You know, most of the time I leave my items for about 24 hours after the ice melts before I start rinsing them. During the summer when it gets to be really hot, I can sometimes get by with allowing less time for the shirt or the item to process. The dye needs a warm enough temperature to properly bond with the fabric, and so the recommendation is for at least 70 degrees Fahrenheit. However, where I live in the summer, it easily gets to 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So the warmer the temperature, the less time you really need to process it in order to get the nice vibrant colors. If you live in an environment which is maybe less than 70 degrees Fahrenheit, you're probably going to have to leave your item a little bit longer than 24 hours to get your nice dark, vibrant colors. I know in the past in one of the Facebook tie-dye groups, somebody posted some sort of a chart which tells if the temperature is a certain degree, how long you really need to allow your item to process. I haven't seen that chart go around this year, but if you Google it, you might be able to find one, or if you go out to one of the tie-dye groups out on Facebook, they may have it in some of their resources. The important thing to remember is if your item dries out, the dye no longer continues to bond, and that blues, especially blues that contain turquoise, need a higher temperature to get your darkest, brightest, most vibrant color. Okay, so I rinsed the shirt like normal, started in cold water to rinse out the soda ash, warmed it up to hot to rinse out the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric, took the hemostats off, and then I soaked the shirt in some really hot water along with a little bit of Blue Dawn dish detergent, allowed the shirt to soak. When the water cooled off, I changed it out, and I continued that soaking process until my water was remaining almost clear. Then I put the shirt along with some Dharma's professional textile detergent into my washing machine, and I washed it using a hot water cycle. Okay, so this little dog tank has been washed and dried, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so what do you guys think? I like it, but I definitely use too much dye for this small of an item. You know, this is like a ribbed material, so it's pretty thin. And I tried not to use a ton of dye, but obviously I did because the purple just overtook everything. I do have some hints of red from the pomegranate and the Dances with Raisins, but for the most part, it's pretty purple. And then the blue in the very center of the mandala just kind of disappeared. I do have some blue on the inside of the tank top, like the part that's on the chest of the dog. But honestly, I don't know whether that actually came from the blue that I used or from one of the purples that maybe split out a little bit of blue. I think it's cool though. I mean, it adds a little bit of color other than just the purple into the shirt. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I love purple, but I was wanting some more color variation in this little tank top. I do like the fact that I can see the design though. I mean, that's at least a plus. But if you're looking to do one of these, definitely cut way back on the amount of dye that you use. Or maybe use dye colors that aren't quite as consuming. And as far as sizing goes, I agree with Dharma. I don't know that I would follow the manufacturer's instructions or suggestions about the sizing on these little tank tops. I've placed it on my dog just kind of as a reference, and my little dog is only 7.8 pounds. And this is a size medium, which was suggested for 11 to 23 pounds. Now, granted, she's a super fluffy little dog, but it's kind of riding up on her. I took some photos so that you could see how I kept pulling it down, but it would just ride back up. But like I said, she's a super fluffy dog, so her hair kind of helps with the riding up part. But it is a very stretchy tank top, so I didn't have any issues getting it over her head or taking it off. But the way that it's riding up, you can't really see the design quite as well as I was envisioning in my head. But then again, I wasn't envisioning the entire design to end up purple either, so this little tank top was a learning lesson for me. But I do really like the blank, and if I were going to make them again, I would definitely size up. I went ahead and bought several at the time that I bought this one, so I'll keep that in mind the next batch that I dye. And I'll definitely remember next time to not use so much dye. But what do you guys think? Have you guys used these? What's your opinion about them? Please drop me some comments down below and let me know. And if you've enjoyed watching the video, I sure would appreciate it if you would like it, and if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'll hit the bell, you'll receive a notification whenever I upload a new video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.